Hello and welcome to Dear Ijay. This is where we add value to your spirit, body, mind, and soul. So please join us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Remember, no pretense, no judgment. This is how it works. People write about a problem. We share a summary of their writing, and then we try to help with suggestions. I am a trained psychologist, and combined with human experience, I hope to be of help. Let's go there. Let's go. I'm excited because this writing is from a man. You know, most of our people are always women. So when a man writes, I get extra excited. I feel like, oh gosh, I have male followership. It's very challenging in this space. But anyway, so it says, Dear Ijay, my name is Mui. I grew up in a decent home. We weren't lacking for anything. Somehow I ended up going to school with children of the rich, and we all grew up together and went to the same really good university. My challenge now is, as a full-grown adult that is now in the workforce, I am not trying to be a billionaire. But all my friends do is talk about wanting to become billionaires. I'm not cut out that way. I just want a comfortable and private life. Even if I become a billionaire, I don't want anybody to know. I am struggling with these billionaire talks around me. I'm now thinking, is there something wrong with me as a man for not wanting that level of flamboyance or wealth? Must we all be billionaires? I know it sounds funny, but it's a source of stress to me. I'd like to hear your opinion because your views are always unique. Thank you, Mui. Wow, pressure. First of all, I'm a psychologist. I am not a financial expert. I am not a billionaire. So my focus is going to be psychological in nature because there's a psychological conflict happening. So, Mui, first of all, I want to thank you very much. Your stress stems from the mismatch between your definition of success and that of your friends. And I always tell people that definitions are very important. The way you define things in your head and in your soul, in your spirit, has a lot to do with how it manifests in your space. What you tell yourself matters. So, know that everybody has their definition of success. A very loved member of my family told me one day that I'm the most successful person they know. And immediately my mind went to wealth. And I started feeling like the person was making a mockery of me because I'm not a billionaire. But then I said to him, I don't understand. Where would you get that idea from? He said, well, his definition of success is when a person is able to stay positive in spite of things that can pull them down. And he said, in that context, I am one of the most successful people he knows, because oftentimes I'm more positive, more happy than sad, than negative. So he thinks it's success, because people struggle with staying positive in the world that we find ourselves in. Guess what? That became my definition. So whenever I want to think about, is this thing successful? I ask myself, what is the positive thing about this experience? And it has changed how I define myself. So I started looking at myself as a successful person. I've successfully mastered the art of positivity. Do you get? Now, imagine if my definition was based on money. Hello, you're talking about being a billionaire. Are we talking in dollars or in naira? So if you start doing that, you will never feel successful because you're going to meet people who have more money than you, people who have more experience, more assets than you. So Mui, the first thing is, do not fall into the trap of comparison. You see, some of us grew up in families where competition was the rule of law. Your mother will say, did you see how our neighbors are doing this? Do you see how this person's son is doing that? We are raised to compare and compete. And at the end of the day, you have inferiority complex because you will never be enough. So do not compare their goals and their values to your goals and your values. Being a billionaire is a goal. It is not a value. So you're comparing apples and oranges. You're comparing their goal with your value. If your value is a quiet life, if your value is just to be comfortable, if your value is privacy, hold on to it. Don't let your environment or your friends influence that. You are seeking internal and qualitative state, comfort, privacy, contentment, and they may be seeking external, and they're entitled to it. But it should not be a source of pressure for you. What if one day when they're having that conversation, you open your mouth and say, actually, my goal is not to be a billionaire. My goal is to be comfortable. A friend of mine told me some years back that he rather live in a house that is 250,000 and have cash in his account of 10 billion. I said, well, but that means you'll be living in a place where other billionaires don't reside. He said precisely that if he was surrounded by other billionaires, he would never be happy because he will always feel left behind. But when he's living with those people, he always feels like a king. That's his own definition. That's the point I'm making. We all have to make choices that work with us. Mui, another thing I want to advise you, differentiate between wants and needs. Being a billionaire is actually a want. It is not a need. Some time ago, I had to tell somebody that oftentimes we put pressure on ourselves based on want, desires, superficial, vanity-based desires. If you really think about our needs, you find out that even people who say they are poor, they are broke, they are this, they are all these negative things, aren't quite that. They are feeling how they are feeling because they compare themselves with the desires, the wants, what they want, not what they need. For instance, when I talk about health, people say, oh, I can't even afford 3 square meals. You don't need 3 square meals to be healthy, especially as an adult. But we use it to compare as a yardstick for wealth. So likewise, you need to start asking yourself, what is your comfort zone? What is that thing that will make you feel enough? Make you give you a sense of contentment or satisfaction. Define it and hold on to it. Attach your values to it. You will always meet people who have a different value set, have different goals. That's what life is all about. Listen to their stories, but don't let it negatively affect yours. However, their stories can inspire you. It's allowed, but it should not be a source of stress. Psychological stress is very damaging because it can lead to emotional stress, and your cortisol level will be raised. Cortisols have a tendency to burn your cells out. Stress, you need to avoid it. So affirm and define your enough. People, we need to define what is enough. And you can define it in concrete terms. Younger people can say, my enough is being in a healthy marriage with 5 kids and a house, living in Lagos, Lekki, blah, 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 whatever your definition is, but it's yours. It is yours. And so when you start building towards that, go back to your checklist and see how far you've come. You will surprise yourself. You've reached your enough. The problem is a lot of people don't even have definition of what enough is. So they'll keep pursuing and acquiring and acquiring. One of the biggest challenges of acquisition is that sometimes we sacrifice contentment on the altar of acquisition. You want to have and have. You never stop to be grateful. You never stop to take stock of what you already have. You never stop to celebrate how far you've come. You're just wanting more and more. Shift the conversation with your friends. Mui. become the point of conversation. The fact that you don't want to be a billionaire, you just want to be comfortable and you are at peace with it. But make sure you shift the conversation when you actually become at peace with it. So you can maybe inspire them to not make their goals so huge if they can't afford to. You'll be surprised. Some of them are putting themselves under pressure because they believe everybody wants to be a billionaire. So if you now say, no, I really don't care about that goal, and my goal is to be happy with a small family in a safe neighborhood, that is your value and that is your goal, and there's nothing wrong with it. You are seeking internal richness over external richness, and there's nothing wrong with that. But ultimately, as a psychologist, I'll tell you something. The less conflict you introduce into your life, the better. Seek to have peace of mind. And one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the gift of gratitude. Gratitude breeds content. When you're contented with your life, it doesn't kill ambition. It does not kill ambition, but it makes you happy even while you're ambitiously seeking the next step up. Having said that, I hope this was helpful, Mui. I want to thank you for opening up. Every time we hear from a man, I get excited, like I said. So thank you for sharing. So please like, share, and subscribe to Dear Ijay on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We can also be found on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Remember, be healthy, be happy, and please keep it positive. Until next time, that's all from me. Take good care of yourself. Thank you.